Hey, Vikings fans. Welcome back to another edition of Draft Diaries. This time we got Jake Reed on the line. Everyone knows Jake Reed. He's fourth all-time in Vikings history in receiving yards. Jake, thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here with you guys to be able to do this social distancing type of interview. It's great.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. You know, the 2020 NFL Draft is on the horizon. You know, we're talking to past and current Vikings players to get their memories. And we wanted to chat with you. You know, it's been almost 30 years since you've been drafted back in '91. I guess what was that process like back then? You know, a couple decades ago, the whole pre-draft and draft process.
Well, it was a lot different than what it is now. But I tell you what, back then I didn't know too much about the draft. I was the first one in my family to get drafted. But as you know, my younger brother got drafted right a year after me, or 2 years after me. So I didn't have the advice that my son have now. So I think he kind of have an advantage. But once I got to Grambling and learned the process, and that was my goal. And on draft day, I was very excited. You know, I didn't talk to many teams. I looked at the first round went by, the second round went by, and I was sitting at the house wondering, like, dang, if I'm gonna get drafted, you know, the first round, second round went by. I think back then that's when I had 12 rounds.
Right.
So I didn't know what route I'm going. And I get a call from Tom Moore. I don't know if you guys remember Tom Moore.
I know Tom Moore, yeah.
Yeah, the old receiver coach. And he asked me, hey, you want to be a Minnesota Viking? I was like, yes. I was excited. I was pumped. Then I ran. I promise you, I ran like I'm a Southern boy from the South. The only place I ever been to was like Georgia, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
When I come on, I drive through Alabama, through Mississippi to get to Louisiana. Never went anywhere up north, you know, never. So as soon as he said Minnesota, I had to pull out a map and see what in the hell is Minnesota.
I'm sure it was a culture shock for you.
Yeah, it was a culture shock. I think the biggest thing was the cold weather. I didn't realize how cold it got up there. I thought, you know, I got my little jacket, I'm gonna be fine. But man, I tell you, I think the first year in Minnesota in '91, I don't know, you may be too young to remember, when on Halloween night, it snowed like almost 28 or 30 some inches of snow.
That's right, yeah.
And that was my first time experiencing that in '91. And I can remember just laying in the bed like, hey, well, man, we don't have to go to work, you know, because I know down south when it snowed, everything shut down. And I can remember laying up in my bedroom and get another call from Tom Moore, like, where the hell are you? And I'm like, I'm at home, it's snowing. And he was like, we go to work around here. So that was my first experience in Minnesota, shocking, cold experience, but the draft was wonderful.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we wanted to get your draft memories, but we also wanted to get your draft advice. You know, it's like you mentioned, it's relevant this year. Your son, JR, was a safety at Georgia, and he's likely to get drafted this year. What advice have you kind of passed along to him as he kind of goes through this process?
Well, the biggest thing I told him, don't read anything of the mock draft in the media. Stay out of that, because this type of stuff will drive you crazy. You know, some people have you high, some people have you low. Because at the end of the day, this is what I tell them, at the end of the day, they are not in no draft rooms. They don't know what every team have you up on the board. You know, it's just their opinion. You know, I told them I can put out a mock draft. You can put out a mock draft and put it out there so you know, publish it. But that doesn't mean that's where you're gonna go. I think so. That's one of my advice to a young guy. They're about to get drafted. Don't believe the hype. Stay focused. Continue to work, because you listen to what some of these guys are saying, and you know, it'll drive you crazy. And a lot of times they're wrong.
Right. Yeah. No, I think him being able to lean on you in this time is probably a good benefit for him. But you know, you mentioned being a dad. How proud are you of him? You know, just as his dad. You know, and what he's about to hopefully accomplish.
I'm very proud, because he said he worked hard. You know, people don't realize he went to Tulsa his first year, and I think he got there. He just felt like he wanted to play bigger football. And I told him, man, you know, where we going? He told me, hey, that's up to you to figure out. I told y'all, whatever happened, you got to own your decision. Well, you go to Georgia and play and sit the bench for 4 years, or you go play, you got to own your decision. And he made up his mind. He went down there and proved that he was a top player of a lot of those 4 and 5 star guys.
Yeah, no, it looks like he made the right call, especially where he's at now, compared to where he was. And, everyone's football journey is unique, and you kind of touched on this earlier, but you this past season, you guys actually kind of rejoined together at halftime of Monday Night Football. You and Moss and Carter, appeared at halftime. How much fun was that for you, and how much fun did you have kind of catching up with those guys?
Well, it was great. I saw Moss a couple weeks before that down at the SEC Championship game. Because, his son plays with LSU and JR plays with Georgia. So we kind of hooked up at halftime and, just big hugs and high fives and dap, just excited to see our boys out there like it just came full circle. Then to get back up in Minnesota to see Chris and Moss, we all together. It was just like, it's a strong brotherhood there. And it was just fun just to catch up, talk about old time and just laugh, And to see Moss from where he was back then when he would holler about straight cash homie and the mooning of the Packers and stuff like that, to see where he is now, his growth is amazing to me. And I love it. I watch ESPN a lot of times to see Moss because I just love to see his growth and where he is now towards his career and on sports TV, and just to see his life with his new marriage and stuff like that. So it's great. It's awesome.
That's great. I know Moss is obviously a beloved figure, Carter, and you too. So Jake, we definitely appreciate your time, and thanks for joining us today.
All right, appreciate it. I enjoyed it.